Okay, I'd like to read you a really special book today. Before I start reading, it seems only fair that I pay my respects to the Quandamooka people, past, present, future, and emerging elders. And thank you for the land in which I'm reading this story to you. This is a first Australian's book written by Oodgeroo Noonuccal. Oodergeroo was born in 1920 on North Stradbroke Island, spent most of her life living here. She worked tirelessly on behalf of the Indigenous people and died in 1993. This is a very special book. Father Sky and Mother Earth had 4 children, Sun, Moon, Sea and Rock. They never lived again together after they had their children. Sun and Moon created servants for themselves. They named them clouds, winds, rain, stars and storms. Sun and Moon had their own servants, lived with Father Sky. Rock created servants too. He named them tree, birds, animals, reptiles and insects. Rock and his servants lived with Mother Earth. Beautiful pictures. Sea servants were oceans, tides, currents and gales. Sea and his servants lived between Father Sky and Mother Earth. Father Sky watched over Mother Earth. When she grew thirsty, he asked Moon and Star to send her water. They sent rain to help. Rain created rivers, creeks and lakes and filled them with water. Sun sent his warmth to Mother Earth. Rock, trees, birds and animals, reptiles and insects all loved Sun. In the early morning and early evening, Sun would light up Father Sky with his many colours. Sun called his early morning colours sunrise, and he called his early evening colours sunset. Moon and stars lit up Father Sky at night after Sun had gone to sleep. Sea servants Gale looked after Father Sky and Mother Earth by keeping everything clean. Gale knew he needed help, so he created Cyclone and Tornado to help him. Sea's other servants, ocean, tides and currents, would be blown and tossed about and would go wherever Gale, Cyclone and Tornado blew them. Gale, Cyclone and Tornado sometimes blew so hard they knocked over Rock and his servant Tree and other things that got in the way. Rock's other servants, birds, animals, reptiles and insects would hide under Gale, Cyclone and Tornado until finished their cleaning. Birds lived in the tree branches and some animals would climb up trees' trunk and rest there. Insect lived under trees' bark or on the tree's trunk and branches. Gum tree let koala live in his branches, and koala often fed on gum tree's leaves. Other animals and insects liked to burrow under rock to sit on him or warm themselves. And platypus lived with frog and tortoise in the rivers and creeks and lakes. Rock created mountains and hills to protect its servants from the cold winds of Gale, Cyclone and Tornado. And Tree created plants and grass and flowers. And animals, reptiles and insects created more animals, reptiles and insects. And so on and on and on. And they were all very happy, creating a balancing, loving and living, helping out one another. One day, when trees, plants, grass and flowers were busy looking green and bright, Bee, whom the insects had created, came along. Bee explained that after he took pollen from one of the flowers to another flower, this would help the trees, plants, grass and flowers to create more trees, plants, grass and flowers. Besides, Bee told them he could also create honey in his home in a hollowed out tree, and this would help feed the birds, animals, reptiles and insects. Trees, plants and grass and flowers welcomed Bee and told him to come as often as he liked. And in this way, they all helped out one another. Some amazing pictures, aren't they gorgeous? Sea created more servants and they lived with sea. They were called fish, shellfish, starfish, seaweed and crab. And octopus lived with sea. Octopus dug a big hole in the sea's bed and scattered rocks and shells all around it. Octopus lived in this hole. A mangrove tree lived in the mud and swamps close to Mother Earth in the sea salts bed. He sheltered and fed fish, shellfish and crab. Seabirds nested in mangrove's branches. Mangrove grew little spikes in the mud to help him live and breathe. And whales played in the ocean's vast waters. Look at the beautiful whales. And so it was a happy time of creation, and those who came after sun, moon, sea, and rock kept creating. And Father Sky and Mother Earth were very proud and happy for them all. And so this is the beginning. Father Sky and Mother Earth, their children, moon, sun, rock and sea, and their children's servants, lived in peace and happiness, and there was beauty everywhere until one time a strange animal came among them. This animal was not like any animal they'd seen, and this animal was called human. Human? And human animal cut down many trees to build houses. Koalas, birds, reptiles and other animals became afraid of human animal and fled for their lives. And bee flew away because human animal spilled bees' honey when human animal cut down bees' trees. And platypus, frog and tortoise couldn't enjoy their swims anymore because human animal threw all his rubbish into the rivers, creeks and lakes. That's not looking after a planet, is it? And human animal made boxes with motors in them, and they made a lot of noise. The motors blew out smoke that choked the animals, trees, birds, reptiles and insects. Human animals' boxes ran all over Mother Earth, and some of human animals' boxes flew high in Father Sky, higher than any of the birds. And human animals' boxes filled Father Sky with smoke. Yuck. Still the smoke. Some of human animals' boxes ran all over the sea and spilled oil and smoke everywhere. And human animals' boxes chased whale all over the ocean because human animal wanted to steal whale's oil. And whale was so busy keeping out of the human animal's way, he no longer played in ocean's vast waters. Whale just swam for his life. Mangrove's leaves turned white and curled up and fell off because human animal covered mangrove spikes with strange sand when human animal filled in mangrove swamps. And seaweed didn't grow very well because the strange sand choked the seaweed. And a fish had gone too far to find his food, so he swam in an island way out in the sea where the mangrove trees grew. And crabs had to leave their home under mangrove. Some crabs went to live with coral. And starfish crept back into the deep part of sea. Sea hid starfish to protect him, and starfish lived with sea cucumber. And octopus couldn't live in the hole he dug because the strange sand kept filling it in. So octopus had to leave and he went to find went to live with sea cucumber and starfish in the deepest part of the ocean. Deep in the ocean. Then one day, something happened. Some human animals looked around and saw all the damage human animals had done. The mass had made them very worried and sad. So they decided something had to be done about it. All the worried human animals got together, had a big talk on top of a hill. The worried human animals decided to clean up the mess that human animals had made. The first thing the worried human animals did was put up some warning signs. The signs read, "Beware! Human animal is the most dangerous animal of all." And the worried human animals put up many warning signs all over Mother Earth. Human animals destroy. Human animals is thoughtless. Human animals pollute. Human animal rubbishes. Beware, human animal is the most dangerous of all. Human animal maims. And the worried human animals worked hard too. They gathered up all the rubbish they found in the creeks and the rivers and the lakes, wherever else they saw rubbish on Mother Earth. Rubbish was everywhere, and it kept worried human animals very, very busy. And the worried human animals all wore badges that read, "Are you a worried human animal? I am." See those shirts? And perhaps when many more human animals join the worried human animals and work with them, so very soon perhaps Father Sky, Mother Earth, their children's servants will once again be bright and clean and happy and beautiful and peaceful, just as they were in the beginning. And perhaps human animal will be able to live happily and peacefully with Father Sky and Mother Earth and their children. And perhaps there will be a new beginning. The end. Such a beautiful story and such a strong message.